everyone, and welcome to MessageDesk's webinar series. My name is Taylor, your community manager, and we have Josh on here as your product manager. Today we're going to be diving into text messaging strategies that create more answered phone calls with customers, clients, or patients. And we'll be taking the next 10 minutes or so to go over how your staff can optimize its outreach through text messaging and stop leaving voicemails.
That's right, Taylor. We have a lot of clients that use text messaging as a way to confirm phone calls with their clients, patients, or customers, as you were saying, prior to actually making that call. It's an easy way to make sure your call is always answered, and it ends up saving you and your team a bunch of time. You can also just send a text message as your voicemail equivalent too if they don't confirm. Most of the time, talking on the phone is an inconvenience, especially if it's a one-way conversation to a voicemail inbox. That's where text messaging comes in. It's a great way to confirm with the person on the other end that they're actually, on the other end. Like we've mentioned many times before, once you start incorporating text messaging into your daily operations, it doesn't take away from all the other outreach you're currently doing. Instead, it's actually a way to improve the effectiveness of those calls and emails you're already sending.
Exactly. Unexpected calls can feel pushy and inconvenient for most people. We know that 76% of consumers don't like talking to businesses on the phone already, so making it as painless as possible for your customers or clients can ease that tension. Text messaging is discreet and less obtrusive and still a near instant and guaranteed way to communicate. Text messaging also becomes helpful not just for asking people if they're ready for a call. You can also use text message reminders for company-facing meetings, conference call reminders, or client-facing meeting reminders. Whether you're an HR manager wanting to remind a potential hire about your scheduled interview, front office manager sending appointment reminders to clients, or even a sales rep that's confirming product demos, sending a text before you have that Zoom meeting or initial first call is a great way to decrease no-shows.
Something to always remember when comparing text messaging to email or phone calls is that text message has a longer lifespan and lingers in your client's inbox much longer. Even if it's not at the moment that they read it when you send it, it still gets their attention immediately. Whereas voicemails and emails often go ignored for hours on end, maybe even days or weeks. Not like I'm speaking from any personal experience, though. I definitely don't ignore my emails, right? From the caller's perspective, you're actually doing them a disservice by buzzing them without actually giving them due notice.
That same feeling is why 3 out of 4 people just don't listen to voicemails. And that's one of the main reasons why text messaging is the #1 way to boost phone call engagement. If you're able to know that your phone call will be answered, it's a win. This can help make your cold calls turn into warm calls if you've already engaged with them over text message. We know that phone calls will never go away, and they still allow for personal interactions, but cold calling is fading. So by starting with a text message, there's still a way to reap the benefits of a phone call. Another form of cold call that most people aren't aware of is the post-website submission call. This is what most businesses do after a prospect submits a form on their website or inquires about a service. And instead of immediately just calling them, send them a text asking them if they'd like to set up a call or an appointment with you. And we've seen this strategy get 70% response rates when compared to phone calling. And it's just a less intrusive compromise that doesn't make you look too forward or eager for their business.
This is an effective strategy for your business because it's still meaningful and subtle enough to make your customer or client know you care, but not in an annoying way. It's not like, they submit some form on your website and now all of a sudden you're buzzing them on their personal line, which might feel really intrusive depending on what business or service you're in. And with text messaging, you'll still get great responses. In fact, you'll get better responses. It will just be on the customer's terms. And it also helps the flow of conversations and makes what would be a cold introduction, hey, this is so-and-so, much smoother because a text message is less intrusive and you can introduce yourself the same way.
Another piece of advice I always tell my clients, no matter what industry they're in, if you have a call with someone or a meeting, you can even send them resources prior to that meeting over text message because you'll want to have a meaningful phone call with them. So by sending them these things in advance, they can prepare for that.
Best of all, this can all be done through a platform that is extremely easy to use, and you can create those relationships with customers and clients in an authentic and simplified way.
We can help you improve the overall experience for your clients or customers and help you and your staff become the best communicators they can be with messaging. Thanks for joining us today, everyone. If you have any more questions about how you can start doing this in your business or organization, just email us at josh@messagedesk.com or taylor@messagedesk.com. And don't forget to join our Facebook page, MessageDesk Insiders, for all the tips and tricks. And we'll see you in another week.